Stay in your lane. Stay in your
Lady.
This is a lot. This is too much.
Does that mean that maybe he's the father of the baby?
I did not make this baby on my own.
You can tell then she is pregnant.
You have not helped in the past.
When she pushed and the baby come out.
Finally meet each other in person and have sex that night.
You don't know me and you barely know her.
I didn't expect you to say that.
That's not my fault. You've been the absentee.
Works too when you're scared to tell Mom.
Ciara and Derek have appeared in court because she says her online love affair has turned into a nightmare for her because she got pregnant with a child after having a casual fling with him, but he refuses to accept the child, as he is saying someone else is the father. So, can this court solve this family's problem?
Miss Collins, you have dragged the defendant to court to prove he is the biological father of your 4-year-old daughter, Samara. You say one day of bliss became a lifetime of hell when Mr. Stone up and disappeared when you revealed to him you were pregnant. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ciara says they slept together after first meeting on a dating site. They had some casual encounters afterward as well. Derek says it was nothing serious. She says she soon got pregnant and the doctor told her she was 1 month along. By that time, Derek was the only one who could be the possible father.
So after meeting him on the dating website, you all finally meet each other in person and have sex that night.
Yes, sir.
Did you use protection?
At first we did, Your Honor. Then afterwards it just went with the flow.
Mr. Stone, is this true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's how we make babies. So when you met Miss Collins, did you feel like this was gonna turn into a relationship?
You know, we did what we had to do.
Derek says she never explicitly told him he was the father. Instead, when he called her to see if she wanted to hang out, she told him she was pregnant and couldn't drink or hang around. However, Ciara says she told him to keep in touch until the birth, but he moved to another state and deactivated his social media accounts.
Okay, and you keep in touch as well. Make a long story short, he moves to Arizona. And I said, okay, well, keep in touch with me. His phone was cut off. I guess he deactivated his Facebook.
I've had the same Facebook for like 7 years, since it came out.
He deactivated it because there was no way that I could get in touch with him.
So you couldn't get in touch with him?
No, ma'am.
So you're pregnant and you're trying to get in touch with him and you can't find him anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Derek says the reason he had so much doubt was that she referred to multiple other guys as being potential baby daddies. She also told her ex he could be the father. Ciara says she'd freshly broken up with her ex when she and Derek got together, which is why there was a slim chance he could be the dad too.
Remember you had your
So she referred to
and
2 additional people besides you?
besides me.
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
So now that that's been proven, so at first you thought it was your baby dad. At second, you thought it was the guy that you were messing with. Third, you got me. So process of elimination kind of just shows I'm the last option.
Ciara got her ex tested, and he wasn't the father. So she turned to Derek. He then told her that she should move to Arizona to be near him. He had his family there and other resources that would help them raise their daughter. Ciara said she was a single mother and didn't have the resources to move to another state.
So after so long, speculations came up. We got a test done. Come to find out she wasn't his. I said, yeah, I think I probably made a misjudged character on the situation. 2015, I found out that he was back living in the state. I said,
But you skipped out the whole part that when I was in Arizona, I told you that if that's mine, if the child is mine, come down here, we could take care of it.
So, why does Derek still have doubts? Turns out, Ciara has backed out of a DNA test on 3 different occasions. The first 2 were court-ordered tests, and the third one was a home DNA kit. And Derek says she didn't show up for any of them, which is why he thinks she's hiding something.
So I get a phone call from the court where she lives at. We show up, can't do the test for whatever reason. Don't know why. They say that they'll be in touch. They get back in touch. We go back, well, I go back a second time. I drove all the way up there. Guess who didn't show? Miss Collins did not show for this test.
And then what's the last point of proof you're holding?
She suggested that we do a at-home DNA test.
Ciara says he has been backing out of the test for as long as she can remember. He doesn't pick up his calls or answer his texts, which has led her to severe frustration. She says she grew up without a father and doesn't want the same thing for her daughter. So, can the DNA test results resolve this issue?
Too many times have I done attempted to come down there to take this test. He's not home. He's not answering his phone, not responding to my messages or my calls.
Is there anyone listed on her birth certificate as the father?
No, Your Honor.
So, how can you be so sure it is Mr. Stone's child?
My child doesn't look anything like. She don't act like me. She has the same type of arrogance that he is showing right now in this court.
What arrogance am I showing? I'm just showing facts.
You came out with a whole board, really?
Alicia has brought David to court demanding money for childcare expenses because she says she has 2 kids with him. and he refuses to help out with them in any capacity. David says he's not going to help out with childcare expenses for a child that may or may not be his. So, what now?
Ms. Arbogast, you are in court today claiming the defendant started denying your 2-year-old daughter, Kinsley, once he got into a relationship with your former friend.
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
claim the defendant has ignored the needs of your children, so you are suing for the maximum amount of $5,000 for child care expenses. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Alicia says that's not the whole problem. She has an older kid with David, and he has not provided any childcare expenses for him either, even though there are no paternity doubts there. David says he used to provide money for him, but has recently had too many expenses. That's when he gets really angry in court.
We still have a 3-year-old son that you haven't helped for either.
So you have another baby too,
Yes.
and there's no question as to the paternity of that child.
No, Your Honor.
But
No.
do you help financially with that child?
I have in the past, but recently, no, I have not.
You have not helped in the past, not at all. You've helped $100 per both kids in 2 years. 2 years.
So if you don't have doubts about the older child, why are you not at least providing for that child?
So, why did he lose his temper? When Alicia's current boyfriend steps in to talk, David cuts him off angrily, telling him he should stay out of this because he doesn't know her at all. Meanwhile, he hasn't provided for his child for 2 years, and Judge Lauren goes absolutely crazy, thinking of the child who's never even seen her dad.
Actually, you have no say in this. You don't know me, and you barely know her.
Oh, he barely knows me. I dated him for 1.5 years in middle school, and I'm sorry, when
Okay,
you
but
walked
he
in
doesn't
my
know
door-
me.
when
He
you
has
walked
no
in
right
my
to say
door
anything.
2 months ago, and our 3-year-old son looks up at you and says, "Who are you?" Oh, and then he turns around and says, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and that would
right,
be
you're
your
my
fault."
father." No, that's not my fault. You've been the absentee of his life.
Alicia says they began dating several years ago and were in an active relationship. He even signed birth certificates for both of her children. However, he started getting jealous of her friendship with a man she'd known for many years and then suggested something completely outrageous to break the connection. You'll have trouble believing your ears when you hear it.
But he's the one who signed the birth certificate
But
in
you're
the
the
hospital.
one that makes
he did
all
not
your other
decide
boyfriends
to not,
call,
he did
call
not
dad by
decide
that.
to disown her until he left me to get with her, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's not my baby.
So wait a minute, take me back. You were in a relationship.
Yes, we got in a relationship in 2012. We got pregnant with our firstborn in November. We had him in August of 2013.
She says David said the only way to break her emotional connection with her friend was to go have sex with him. Alicia says several eyewitnesses heard him say it. Judge Lauren goes crazy when she hears this because how can any sensible person suggest this? David denies ever saying any of that.
With for 9 years, he told me if you to go have sex with him, that's the only way to break your emotional connection. And I have witnesses, plenty of witnesses, who can attest to him saying this and have heard him say it.
Wait a minute. You say Mr. Vest told you.
Yes.
The only way to break the connection you had with this friend.
Alicia says she stopped to buy condoms before she had sex with the other guy, which is why she's sure the baby isn't his. She says David was texting her throughout and asking her when she was going to be home. David says they had an argument, and he told her she should be with someone else if she wants to be.
Well, we went to the gas station, bought condoms, went to the lake, did our deal, and I went back home and got in bed with him. Took a shower and then got in bed. And he was all good.
You say she's making this up?
Yeah, I do. We were arguing about something, I don't know exactly what. I got mad, and I told her that she should go and, be with somebody else if she wanted to be. I guess she took me serious
When did you find out about him?
after we broke up.
Alicia says that even if there was paternity doubt regarding their younger child, why was he not involved in the life of their older kid? She says he doesn't even recognize David as his dad, and it breaks her heart. David says that's because she makes her kids call all her boyfriends dad. So, can this tragic saga have a happy ending?
Did you ever tell him that she wasn't his?
No, I never once told him. If that wasn't his baby and I knew that wasn't his baby, why would I let him sign the birth certificate in the hospital?
So you signed the birth certificate, Mr. Vest?
Yes, Your Honor, because I thought it was mine. I thought she was mine.
I wanted him to also be a father to our son. When our 3-year-old son looked at him and said, "Who are you?" my heart shattered. Okay, that hurts. That's our 3-year-old.
Ms. Davis brings Mr. Means to court because she believes he is her child's father, but he refuses to accept the child. She says her grandmother had to step in and take care of the child because he refused to do his part. However, Mr. Means drops a bombshell when he explains his reasons for not accepting the child.
Ms. Davis, you say you and your grandmother are in desperate need of assistance in raising your 1-month-old son, Josiah, and you need the defendant, Mr. Means, to accept his responsibility. You both believe the only reason Mr. Means is denying your child is because of his fiancée. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Apparently, Ms. Davis has been sleeping with multiple men during the window of conception, and Mr. Means knew that. He says she's trying to pin the baby on him because she knows he's a good man who will step up to the responsibility. He also says she's jealous of his fiancé. So, who's telling the truth?
Exception, she had multiple sexual partners. You state Ms. Davis is trying to pin her baby on you because she knows you are a good man and is jealous. Is that correct?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis, tell me why it's so difficult for you raising your baby.
I am 19 years old. He is 10 years older than me. I did not make this baby on my own, and I shouldn't have to take care of him on my own.
Ms. Davis says she had sex with Mr. Means multiple times during the window of conception at their grandmother's house. When Judge Lauren asks her to elaborate, she says he was only having sex with her, not her grandmother. Judge Lauren goes absolutely crazy at that and says Ms. Davis needs to get her mind out of the gutter.
So how is it you can exclude yourself from being a possible father?
What I know he's not mine, and out of 6, 7 friends and had her to the same time I had her. On and off, on and off. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to disrespect you like that because your grandmother right there. I tried to be a grown man about it, but you coming at me crazy and my fiance like that, so I'm gonna let you have it. That's how I know 6, 7 months later, she hit my fiance up saying that she got a baby by me and all this and that.
Her grandmother says she believed it was better for Ms. Davis to have sex while staying at her house than to be on the streets doing it. Ms. David produces a calendar showing the exact dates when she was involved with Mr. Means, and the time includes the window of conception. However, she delivers another shocker after this revelation.
At that time,
Grandma, I have to ask, why was she in the bed with him in your house?
I felt it was safer for her being there than in the street.
And so you said it was okay for her to have sex there than to be out in the street having it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Well,
I have
listen.
proof of conception.
I
Can
would
go
like
the
to see
board?
that. That's the exhibit. Is that what
Yes.
you'd like to show me? Okay, let's do it.
I had sex with Mr. Means in August.
Turns out Ms. Davis broke things off with Mr. Means and immediately got together with her ex-boyfriend. She says they were not involved during the window of conception, and she was already pregnant when they got back together. Mr. Means says that isn't true, and he knows she was going back and forth between the two men.
When I left New Jersey, I was 2 months pregnant. And yes, I did get back with my boyfriend. He accepted the fact that it was possible that I had another baby with someone else.
Mr. Means, is there something on that exhibit you'd like to refute?
Do you mind?
Would you like to challenge something on the board?
That's a no, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no.
Okay.
Come on now, baby girl. You talking about 2 men, you got 3, 4 other people you need.
While Mr. Means keeps denying that he ever believed he was the baby's father, Ms. Davis produces another exhibit that topples his argument. She shows Judge Lauren text messages that show him calling himself a bad baby daddy and apologizing for not being there for the birth. He also tells her he loves her in those messages.
Fiance right here.
Your Honor, I have text messages of Mr. Means
just doing
telling
that
me,
because I'm a
calling me
good
his
father,
baby mother,
and
and
she
saying
just-
that he's a bad baby father because he couldn't make it to the hospital, and telling people that he's my baby father. So if you had any doubts that this is not your baby,
You
why
got
would you?
proof that I told you
Yes,
that?
I
Let me
got
see that.
messages.
Let me
Messages.
see that.
You like to see them?
What's up, baby mama? You don't love me no more or something? Of course I do, Ms. Davis says. Why you say that?
Mr. Means' fiance takes the stand and begins an argument with Ms. Davis, which pisses Judge Lauren off. Ms. Davis says she knows what it's like to not have a father, and she doesn't want the same thing for her kid, which is why she's here. So, do you think this teenager can get her child the father he needs?
Keep your legs closed and just
Settle down, ladies. Settle down.
I'll just
Ladies.
Sorry, Jan, I apologize.
Ladies.
Sorry.
I'm not sure why there is so much bad blood between the two of you, but the truth is, she's admitting that he could possibly be your child's father.
Maria and Joseph come to the court because paternity doubts surrounding their son have ruined their personal lives. She says she is sure the baby is Joseph's, but he has too many doubts for them to go away without some sort of proof because he feels those doubts every time he looks at the child.
Ms. Whittier, you say that you are sure Mr. Reed is the father of your 22-month-old son, Lucas, but the defendant's paternity doubts have led to constant fighting and tension in your relationship. You desperately hope to prove he is the father to save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Reed, you believe it is medically impossible that you are Lucas's father.
How the duo met is something out of a rom-com dream. Joseph saw Maria's child apparently drowning in a pool and decided to rescue him. Turns out he could swim, but that's when he and Maria started really getting to know each other. Soon, they fell in love. Now that's a real tearjerker of a love story.
Shortly before Lucas's birth, we had an argument, and that argument led to the ultimate gonna shut him up kind of moment. So I said, well, how do you know if it's even yours?
You say that in the argument.
Yes. I never doubted it was his, but I just kind of wanted to end the argument and let it be done. And I've regretted that statement ever since I made it.
So talk to me about the nature of this relationship. How did your relationship begin?
So how did the doubts begin in this fairy tale romance? Maria says Joseph's ex came back into the picture and started making him doubt everything. She was the first person who asked him if he was sure the baby was his. Since he had known her longer, he believed her. But afterward, something else happened that changed everything.
He moved in mid-September, and we found out we were pregnant the first week in November.
I was terrified.
You were?
I mean, outright terrified.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I was gonna do. I mean, name me one parent that does know what they're doing, first time. That's what my mom said.
Did you have any doubt during that time that the child was yours?
No, not at the time of the pregnancy, I didn't know.
Okay. When did the plot twist come?
With his ex-girlfriend.
Apparently, Maria's ex sent her a vulgar video on her phone that showed him having sex with someone. Since the faces were obscured, Joseph thought it was a video of Maria and her ex. No matter what she said, he didn't believe her, and soon after, moved back in with his ex. But then, the story had another twist.
And an ex of mine decided to be disgusting and send a very vulgar message to my phone. He found it and thought that maybe there was some continuing relationship there.
Oh, okay.
And then I moved in with my ex.
Oh, and then you moved in with your ex during the pregnancy?
He moved in with
Your Honor, I
the
did.
troublemaker.
I'm like, why do they keep trying to skip over the part I'm asking about? Now I know why, because this is where it got messy.
Maria says things got worse from there, but then she got very sick. The doctors found a blood clot that they said put her life at risk. They put her on blood thinners, but warned her that she or the baby might not make it out of this alive. She called Joseph, who came running, and they got back together.
And it just got worse from there until I got sick. I had a blood clot, and they put me in the hospital, put me on blood thinners. They said the blood thinners carry a massive risk of neither one of you making it through. And I called him and I said, you need to come home.
I'd never been so scared in my life.
And I told him that I didn't know if Lucas was gonna make it. I didn't know if I was gonna make it.
However, the ex came back into the picture again and started causing problems. Joseph still appeared at the birth and cut the umbilical cord and assisted the birth. Maria says Joseph cried more than her when the baby was born. So, can the DNA test reunite this beautiful family?
A lot of it, but then the same ex come back. Well, look at your family. Your family doesn't have these health problems. They don't have these medical problems. And that's not entirely true,
You were there on the day Lucas was born as well?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you were?
I cut the umbilical cord, Your Honor.
You did?
He cut
I
the
held
umbilical
one
cord
leg,
and turned
folded her
into a
up, my
big
mom had
marshmallow.
the other one, and she pushed, and the baby come out. Buddy, and I instantly cried as soon as that
He
child
cried more than I
cradled.
did.
Chastity, Jalen, and Fred come to court regarding the paternity issue surrounding Chastity's young daughter. The two teenage guys both say they fathered Chastity's daughter and are now having trouble figuring out the true paternity. She is currently in a relationship with Fred, and Jalen is her ex-boyfriend.
Ms. Harris, you have been caught in a love triangle. There are two men in court today claiming to have fathered your 18-month-old daughter, Anaya. Your current boyfriend, the plaintiff, Mr. Murray, and the defendant, your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Donaldson. They are both in court today to prove paternity.
Chastity says she was alone throughout her pregnancy because Jalen didn't even believe she was pregnant. Soon afterwards, he said he had feelings for someone else and broke up with her, which led to her navigating pregnancy all alone. He felt like she was lying about the pregnancy to keep him around.
Then when I got pregnant, he told me he had feelings for another girl. He told me that he didn't want to be with me. I was basically alone during my pregnancy. He was there during the baby shower, and he came to the hospital with his mom when I had her.
So wait, you're dating Mr. Donaldson, you're in a relationship. You all are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, we were.
And so you're boyfriend and girlfriend, and you find out you're pregnant while you're in the relationship with him?
Yes.
Jalen says he didn't believe her pregnancy claim until he saw her belly growing big and soon told his parents about Chastity's pregnancy. He says he wasn't there at the doctor's appointments, but was present at the baby's birth. He even brought his mom along to the hospital, who believed he was the baby's father.
Oh, because you saying at first he didn't even believe it, so then when your stomach started growing.
No, he brought me a pregnancy test.
Oh, he did, all right. So you brought her a pregnancy test and said, prove it.
Yeah.
And she did.
By that time, it was too late. She was like big. I hadn't seen her in so long. It wasn't even no point in getting a pregnancy test.
Oh, because you could tell then she is pregnant.
So, how does Fred fit into this scene? Apparently, Jalen texted him to say he might be the father of Chastity's baby and should get himself a DNA test. Judge Lauren asks Chastity if she had also slept with Fred, and she says she did. However, what he reveals next makes Judge Lauren go absolutely crazy.
Child.
One day I was on Facebook and I got a message from Jalen, and he told me that the baby could possibly be mine.
So you get a message from Mr. Donaldson?
Yeah.
Telling you that the baby could possibly be yours?
Yeah, I need to get a DNA test.
You sent him that message, Mr. Donaldson?
I don't recall. I'm not gonna say yes, I'm not gonna say no. I don't recall.
Turns out, Fred felt like he could be the father of Chastity's child because they once had a threesome which was unprotected. Soon afterward, Chastity got pregnant, and he felt like it may have been the result of the threesome. So, can the DNA test results solve this outrageous love triangle?
But Mr. Murray, you say you did not use protection.
We had a situation December 14th,
What's the situation?
a threesome.
Oh, I didn't expect you to say that. Okay, so, wait, that's December. And you didn't use protection during that? I don't know what y'all out here doing. We know young people, and we know you're gonna be young, but this is a lot. This is too much.